Tim Crockett is the co-founder and managing editor of Flying Frog Consultants. He has years of experience navigating security and operations in hostile areas all over the world. Welcome to Prime. First, I just want to start with what was just reported. Zelensky saying he is the #1 target. If you're the one tasked with protecting him, what would you be doing?
Well, your previous interviewees kind of nailed it, really. It's about controlling what you can control. Controlling the information of what you're putting out, who's putting it out, and when you're putting it out. What the Russians are going to be doing is looking for those predictable patterns, any scrap of information that will tighten that search area and increase their luck.
Yeah, and he's posting videos on social media all the time. Isn't that giving the enemy the exact indication and location about where he is?
Sort of yes and no. Like I said, they want to control where they are, what identifying landmarks or anything that could be used to create that pattern of predictability. From what I've seen, those that are around him are actually using that to his advantage. He has a history of production and is doing it very well. Not going live, only going live and then putting that information out later. So it's good that he has a voice. I think it's what's unifying the support around him, but doing so in a very controlled and calculated manner is very smart.
That is a good point, his history of production as an actor and a comedian. So you think that it's possible his social media presence actually helps keep him safe and it unifies Ukrainians and the world is watching and rallying behind him because of it?
Yes, it certainly helped get the message out. Now, whether it's keeping him safe, like you said, the Russians are going to be devoting a lot of resources to piecing the puzzle together and closing in onto where he is either held out or where he could be next. Like I said, it's being that time and place predictable, so they could then either intercept that or use artillery of some nature to, again, try and kill him.
And you've worked in battle zones all over the world. What strikes you about this particular region? Is there anything unique or different about it?
Every battlefield is unpredictable. And I think you've got to give the area that you're in that healthy respect, that you don't know everything. Things can change. You have to understand that there are many different factors that you've got to be aware of. So there's nothing unique about this area in particular. Yes, you've got nuclear reactors that could play into the risk of a stray round going off and creating a different risk that you're going to have to be aware of. So it's more about being situationally aware of where you are, what's going on in your immediate area, what's going on in the larger battle and what could impact you tomorrow or next week. And then also being aware of your own limitations and not sort of push too far and get overconfident.
And the president, of course, we're talking about him. He has protection, but what about civilians? I mean, you've trained journalists and others who work in war zones. What is the key to surviving? And granted, Ukrainians have been in war for 8 years now, so they're probably better prepared than most. But for the average civilian, what is the key to surviving? What would you tell them?
Well, they're certainly resilient. Like I said, the time in which they've spent in and around conflict shows that they're doing something right. It's about being prepared, prepared for today, prepared for what could happen. And again, it's knowing what's going on around you so you can obviously take proactive steps rather than being reactive to what's going on and losing control.
Yeah, and Zelensky, as Kelly just reported, has said that Putin sent a hit squad to assassinate him. It seems like the danger would be all around, not only because it's a war zone, but you don't know if someone's working as a double agent. You don't know who to trust in that situation, right?
Trust is obviously something that I'm sure President Zelensky is kind of aware of. You'd hope that those around him are trusted individuals. But it's not just double agents. It's the inadvertent leak of information, somebody calling their mom, calling their grandmother, and actually that information it's like betraying where Zelensky could be or what they're doing. So it's not just active betrayal, it's that inadvertent, accidental leak of information that could equally be as harmful.
Good point. All right, Tim Crockett, thank you so much for your insight tonight. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.